Welcome to Courtside. I'm your host, John Brown, with the head coach, Chris Talley. Crunch time of the season, 1 week remains, and district and PAC playoffs are all on the line here. Coach, exciting time here as a coach, exciting time as a fan here. 3 regular season games left. I feel like we were just here for like game 1, and now we're here last week of the regular season. Not a lot of time left here. Panic mode essentially needs to set in. Sense of urgency with your basketball team here.
Yeah, every game is urgent, but now everything is magnified. You know what I mean? Some plays, some games at the beginning of the year, they kind of fade away. This is the type of game and the part of the season where every possession is magnified, and but that's what you want as a player and a coach. You put yourself in the position to play meaningful games, and that's what you sign up for.
Yeah, this is also the time where a little bit you start to see kids looking at brackets and potential matchups, but so much can happen in this last week. It doesn't even really matter what you look at things, because one upset here, one thing changes here, and now the whole bracket's thrown out. You're starting all over here, and I'm sure that's the way you got to be thinking about things here with this with the 3 games left here.
It's funny. I had a couple text messages this week. Are you guys in the playoffs? Like, who are you matching up with districts? And the district thing updates and refreshes hourly.
Yeah.
Like, you could drive yourself crazy with that. So from a district standpoint, that thing is going to go 9 different ways. And then just the way our league is set up anymore, it's so confusing. Like, I haven't even really projected or looked at it, because honestly, between the division and the league and overall records and crossovers, it's like
it's too much, essentially.
It's too much to worry about instead of just focusing on the games.
And just so everybody's aware out there, the 2 division winners are your 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah.
Looks like Methacton's locked up the 1 seed. They're going to be that. PJP's leading the other division right now?
The 2 obvious ones are Methacton has run the table on their side. PJP has run the table on their side.
Okay.
And then that's when
1 and 2, and then other teams in the mix. You got to say
has to be
Norristown, Boyertown on this side of the division, and then on the other side you got to be talking about Phoenixville and Upper Marion, maybe in Pottstown.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So those 6 teams are basically battling it out here for 4 spots in that final 6, which starts next Wednesday. I got that right there?
I know it's next week.
Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah.
I think it's next Wednesday.
I know you probably don't believe me, but it's almost like you got to get through this week, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. So next week we get to do all like the fun kind of picking, thinking about all that stuff.
Yeah, matchups.
Okay. Yeah. I love that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll talk about Springford basketball now.
Let's do it.
All right. So we've played 4 games since last show here. We've gone 2 and 2. We traveled to Pottstown, big win. We talked about that matchup right there.
Right.
That's a game where you talked about high-scoring affair. You were really expecting a close game, but you kind of got on them early a little bit out there, and you kind of built that early lead, and that's the way the thing went with Pottstown right there. And you kind of won comfortably, but always a tough gym to play in and a tough game with Pottstown.
It's been that long since we've been here. I feel like the Pottstown game was like a month ago.
Ages ago, yeah.
Did we miss a week at Courtside?
We did. We only had 2 games. It's kind of tough, the 2 games. We need a little more content for the people out there. So
was our viewership down?
I don't think viewership is down, but viewership's up.
Okay.
It's up. That's why we got to suck them in with this first segment right here and show them all the highlights here from these games,
Just
right?
making sure your job is safe here.
Yeah. Listen, we need a lot of highlights for the teams.
Yeah.
2 games, meh.
Yeah. All right.
Now we got 4 highlights here.
Okay.
All right, so go back to Pottstown.
Yeah,
here.
Pottstown. That was a game where, we talked as a staff and to the kids where I can't remember a one-sided affair ever against Pottstown, and for whatever reason. This year was different than the previous 6 years or whatever it was, and we got on them early, like you said, and defensively, we were really good.
Yeah.
And we kind of played at a more controlled pace. We like to get up and down, so does Pottstown, but we controlled it a little bit better, and I think that was kind of the difference. We rebounded really well. And, speaking of rebounds, Coach.
Oh, yeah. Trey set a big record that night, too, right? For Springford?
He had 19 total rebounds, which is a school record.
Whose record did he break?
He broke
Murphy's game record, or was it Zamir's game record?
I think it was Zamir or Josh Wirtz.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's a throwback.
Yeah, that's a big throwback.
2001. It actually could have even been the Elder Tally.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Old Tally might have. We'll get that for next week's show because then the alumni go watch live. Who was the previous Augie? But Trey holds it now. He's got 19 in the game.
You think if I brought it up, I would have come prepared.
No, it's okay. It's on the programs. We'll find it in those old programs.
So 19 total rebounds, but 14 of them on the offensive end, which is really
impressive.
Yeah.
And he's been good around the rim in that kind of. He's played that kind of out of position center position for you. He's not really a natural center out there, but he's kind of take over in that role for you guys this year. And I think we would all say, and people are like, he's just quick off the floor too.
He's a basketball player. We don't do the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
We have basketball players out there, and people are like, am I the center? Like, just go be a basketball player.
Go play, yeah.
Like, if you can shoot. If you can
dribble,
and if you can go up and get 14 offensive rebounds and be successful, then do that.
All right, I think we got some highlights from Springford Pottstown here.
Yeah.
Let's check them out.
Yeah, this is at Pottstown. We talk about that gym all the time.
Huge gym.
Huge gym. I mean, it actually was a good crowd. It doesn't look like it just because of,
it's sheer size, you're right.
And, they have some guys I told you that are real matchup problems for not just us, for everybody.
And they were playing really good basketball too. This is it was a little shocking, not result, but just to win comfortably, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we never, blow them out. They always get up for us. They have athletes, and they were streaking at that point. So for us, it was one of those games where you need to go out and win it. And looks like
Looks like a lot of defensive highlights. There's a block right here. Now we're going the other way with it.
Yeah, it looks like that was Medeiros on a block. And like I said, we'll get to it in a couple of games here.
Steal.
Yeah, gotta finish in transition a little bit better.
Use the right.
Right. But we're in the passing lanes, and I think that was
what the highlight was coming from there. We'll have to check with the highlight specials. Maybe we got a lot of defensive highlights here.
I see a lot of Medeiros too, and
other guys get out. There's your 2 offensive rebounds right there.
Yeah. And who's that? Scrocky penetrating. That's the
old. I know that. Yep.
The old
3-ball Fitz. We know that play. Yep.
Coach Caldwell play.
Yep, we know that one.
Nate's got to get that on more of a line drive, so Fitz just has to shoot it. But Fitz did a great job of.
Another corner 3-ball right there.
Is that Fitzgerald
again?
Yeah,
I think so. Tough to tell. It's kind of far away right there.
Yeah, like I said, that gym's huge, and it's far. The bleachers are far from the court, so Ben, our video coordinator, doesn't have too many options.
Yeah, he's getting the guy walking in front and perfect.
Yeah.
Kovaleski with the drive there and finishing.
Yeah, who's this? Alex Lewis in the game.
There's an offensive rebound. There's an offensive rebound. There he is patting those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, you heard Alex Lewis. That's a freshman
getting in the game for you, getting some minutes.
Yeah, and that wasn't at mop-up time like you saw. Kovaleski in there. It was in the game. Let's see how he does.
Yeah. And obviously he's getting some minutes now. We played some minutes against Upper Marion too, some significant minutes. But before we get to Upper Marion, all right, so we played the powerhouse of the pack then.
Yeah.
That Thursday, little quadruple header, but a little opposite. The boys played first.
Right.
Girls were after. So Methacton kind of had our way. They had varsity wins in both the guys and girls. And this is a kind of like the opposite of what you did here. You kind of had a close had a chance. Boy, in the first half, the game was essentially over down there at Methacton.
Yeah, not the way you wanted to go in and start the game. And clearly we didn't get the results that we wanted. Part of it is they're a really good team, and part of it was we didn't come out ready to play for whatever reason. That was disappointing. The first couple plays of the game, the practice before you go over game plans, and it's almost like the kids. I don't think it was a lack of effort. They definitely wanted to win, but I think we weren't locked in, ready to go to do what was needed to kind of nullify their strengths.
Right. I mean, like you said here, they're a powerhouse, not only in the pack, but they're number one team in District 1 rankings right now. I'm sure if there were some state rankings, we could go find them out there, probably in that there too. And it's going to take a perfect type of effort to just give yourself to be in the game with them, and let alone to have a chance to win the game. And like you said, you play an opening segment like that, you're essentially throwing out all the chances of winning the basketball game.
The margin of error against them is pretty much non-existent.
Right.
Like you use the word perfect. You pretty much have to be perfect.
To have a chance, even too.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the highlights from Springford and Methacton. New court.
Yeah, this,
kind of looks like the Brooklyn Nets a little bit. I felt like when I was.
Tell you what, I didn't notice that until we went there, and then the Sixers played Brooklyn.
And you saw it on. Is it kind of like that when you're there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got that gray hue to it.
Yeah. It makes the gym look completely different.
Okay. It's a small gym anyway.
It is, but you had the perception that it was old.
Okay.
Before, now it doesn't feel like
as
it's
old.
no.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah. And
the crowd. We were worried. We were wondering if the crowd was going to come out from Methacton, and it looks like they were all out in full force.
Yeah.
I'm sure we showed them I'm sure they showed the kids the highlights out. We were thinking they weren't going to come, and there they go.
Contrary to popular belief, sometimes high school basketball is alive and well, Coach. And,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the student section came out, and I wish we'd have had a better result, but for a 4:30 tip-off, that was a good crowd. And was that a defensive stop on Woodward there?
I think we had a little deflection go out of bounds on us.
Okay.
Here we are, but like you said here, just really never got anything going in this basketball game.
No, that's you see when
there's your offensive rebound. I'm sure the highlight.
Yeah, when Woodward comes out, and we have open shots, and nothing against Kovaleski.
There's your three ball.
But that's how you have to beat them. You have to make Woodward guard, and you have to make shots. And it's Medeiros
on the miss, then them going the other way, deflection.
And it looks like a defensive stop from Kovaleski there.
Tough to find some highlights here, I would probably say, for Ben too, a little bit in this game too.
Yeah, if your highlight is a chase down defensive foul, I think
it's tough to find him in that game.
Yeah,
so we move on, and then when we were in the last week's game, and you went to Owen J. Roberts, and Owen J. Roberts is struggling right there down there. But it's one of their last games. It's at home. I feel like that's another place we struggle at in the past playing basketball games. But once again, you kind of took care of business. Missing Fitz, he was sick earlier in the week, so you kind of played a little shorthanded, but found a way to win down at Owen J. Roberts.
Yeah, they were struggling at that point. They were out with Lucas, their best player, who's a really good player, by the way, as a junior. He missed, I don't know, maybe 4 games, 5 games. And they struggled without him. He was back for us, and when he's back, they're a different team. So it certainly had our attention. But again, defensively, for the most part, there's a couple games where we weren't great defensively, but for the majority of the season, defensively, we've been really good.
Okay.
And Owen J was a good example of that.
All right, let's check out the highlights. Springford, Owen J. Roberts.
Yeah, talk about new floors, Coach.
There he is.
The Cats have a new floor as well. A lot different from the Tally Kurtz era when we were there.
Way back in the day. I remember those days there.
Yeah.
There you are. Get off start and make the nice 3 to start the game here, and you're going to press them now a little bit too.
Yeah.
Right off the bus.
Right off the bus. We felt like they were prepared for our zone press, so we changed it up a little bit and switched defenses just so they weren't comfortable at all.
Schlingo there with the layup, looks like.
Yeah. Unlike the Pottstown game, we're right in the action here with the camera angle.
Right down on the court.
Yeah, Ben probably enjoyed this vantage point a little bit better, Coach. Looks at Schlingo again.
Schlingo for another 3. Did a good job stepping in with Fitz being out in that game for you. Had some points.
Yeah.
Caused some turnovers.
And there he is with a good defensive stop and
running the floor for you guys.
Yeah.
Medeiros on the offensive rebound gets fouled though.
Looks like Scrocky cost Schlingo an assist there.
Oh, look at that one right there off the bottom of the backboard.
Yeah, that looks like Nate underneath maybe getting his hands on the ball, and Kovaleski benefited.
Here's your trap out of the half-court set right there.
Yeah, 3-on-1, got to finish, and looks like we do there. That's a good way to run the break. Cashing in, those are the points you got to get, Coach.
Live ball turnovers.
Is that what a live ball turnover is? We talk about that.
Yeah. Live ball turnover means like you cause a steal and you're going the other way. Like
it's a confusing term.
Yeah, live ball means right here, live ball turnover. You get an opportunity to go the other way and throw some lobs to people and finish out there.
Sometimes announcers misuse that.
Yeah. Dead ball turnovers, you throw it out of bounds. Not the end of the world. You get an opportunity to set your defense. Live balls are killers. You go in the other way.
Yeah.
Usually, okay.
Is that Alex Lewis there?
Right there with a little drive with the left hand.
Yeah. The live ball turnover is a Coach Puffco no-no.
Yeah, it should be a huge no-no in basketball.
You want to get in his doghouse. That's
live ball turnover.
It's a good way to do it.
All right, so you close out that week of games, and you're back home against a really hot Upper Merion basketball team. And as a person there, it was an entertaining basketball game. Like, obviously, it didn't come out the way we wanted to. They score 80 in overtime.
Free basketball.
And they score 80. And I think it's not concerning, but moving forward, wow, you better watch out for this Upper Merion team.
Right.
Sophomore scores 30. Freshman scores 19, 21 or something like that. So 50 points from two kids that are, 15 and 16 years old has to be if I'm Upper Merion, I'm really excited about it. And if you're another team, you got to be really kind of worried about this way this Upper Merion team's playing down the stretch.
Yeah, you have to really first credit Upper Merion and Coach Quesner and that staff because, one, they were battling a little bit of adversity throughout that week. And, they came in and they were hungry. They were playing well. And 4 of their 5 starters are either sophomore or freshmen.
Yeah.
And, they came in and put up an 80 spot on us. And like I said, defensively, we've been really good this year. And nobody's really put up 80 on us. And they did, and we couldn't get stops.
Yeah, I mean, it just was the kind of – I bet you their stats on the game, they shot 70% from the field, I bet, for the night. Like, their field goal percentage, also including three-pointers, was like you'd think, all right, they're not going to keep making shots all night. Like, halftime, it was a close game. Okay, they shot really well. They can't shoot it that well again, but, boy, they just kept pressing on. And
from a coach's standpoint, you have those halftime conversations with the staff, and – sometimes you're like, all right, they're not going to shoot like that again. We weathered it. Trey was in foul trouble. We'll be fine.
Get back in our stuff, yeah.
And I think we were tossing and turning as a staff. Like, are they going to – personally, I was like, I feel like they have a little destiny going on their side here. Mm-hmm. We were concerned, and we just, it continued in the second half.
Yeah, I thought something that they got you in trouble. They found some mismatches out there, and they were basically playing some one-on-one basketball out there where they're finding some mismatches, and we had the help and whatever, or over help at some stages too, and it just caused extra shots out there for them. They didn't get a lot of offensive rebounds. They were just really efficient on that offensive possession.
You're right. They didn't get many offensive rebounds because they missed.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for that. So, like you said, the isolation, the one-on-one, go get a bucket, they did. It was impressive.
Yeah. All right, let's check out the highlights there from Springford Upper Merion.
Yeah, and
not much of a crowd.
No, not much of a crowd on this game.
And I thought you guys got off to a little bit of a slow start against this game too. Scrocky had a couple early turnovers, kind of uncharacteristic of him, and they were able to get against your press and see the ball go in the bucket a little bit too.
Yeah, 5 first quarter turnovers.
Yeah.
Isn't the way you want to start the game.
But this is where you did have some advantage inside.
Yeah.
And Trey, in limited minutes, was able to have a really good night for you.
Yeah, it was.
Don't save it under their basket.
Right. It was unfortunate for Trey that, he only got to play limited amount of minutes here because he had his way when he was in there. Yeah. Offensively, we scored 77 points. We
right.
Shots.
Usually you score 77, you feel good about your chances.
Yeah.
Or whatever you had in regulation, too, you still feel good about those numbers.
Offensively, it was one of our better offensive nights.
Minus those first quarter turnovers, yeah.
Correct. Defensively, it was the common thread in this game. And, You can see they're spreading this out. Look at that penetration.
Able to get by the original defender, yep.
And when you do, it draws help. And when help comes, you kick it and you make shots, you're going to win games.
And yeah, this game you guys had too. You had Schlingo and Trey foul out. And Trey fouled out early too. That was really the crusher for you guys. Fouled out on a offensive foul, I want to say a minute in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he had 18 points going into the...
Here's the three that ties it in overtime, 77 from Nate.
Nate does Nate could have probably had a layup there. And,
Let's get the tie. Let's go for the tie right there.
I loved it. I wasn't... Nate,
because you're out of timeouts too, you know what I mean, too, so you can stop the clock.
The way the game was going, that shot was going to go in.
Yeah, sure.
So that was a big shot from Nate, and unfortunately we didn't finish it off.
We didn't get more extra free basketball.
Yeah.
They made a shot at the buzzer to win.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, good segment right there. Good recap. We got to talk about who you guys got this week here in the last week of regular season, all right?
All right.
All right, make sure you stay tuned through the commercial break, and we'll preview this week's games for the Rams.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Courtside. I'm your host, John Brown, with the head coach, Chris Talley. All right, Coach, before we talk about your final week in PAC basketball, district rankings are out. We're talking about in the first segment out there. We can put the graphic up right there. So here we are. We're 12th in the district right now. We see Methacton at 1 and 1 ahead of you right now. Really could be a huge game for you guys Saturday are those Boyertown Bears. And what I note, everybody, 1 through 8 gets a bye, essentially.
Yeah.
9 through 24 play the first round, and then you plug those guys in against those teams, they get a bye. So you can see some powerhouse names in that first 8 in the district there, too.
Yeah, it's one of those same old things. You got the Chesters, Lower Marion, Coatesville, Cheltenham.
Yep.
And
Methacton, Penridge you guys beat them early this year, but state finalist from last year. Methacton, a state quarterfinalist from last year.
Yeah,
so.
CB West.
Yeah, there's some teams that can play some basketball, some programs that know what they're doing out there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of games left. You can see our league. Most of us are at 19 games played.
Where Penridge has got 17.
Yeah.
17 seems to be 16 with Chester. Chester's got 6 more games they can play.
Yeah.
Regular season games. So, like you said, a lot can happen here down the stretch.
Yeah, and that first round bye is huge. Yeah, because it puts you kind of back in the playbacks almost.
Yeah, basically, and it also gives you basically win one game at home, you're in state basketball too.
Yeah, like you said though, there's even you go down like that graphic cutoff at, I don't know, 15 or 16. You go down and there's some teams down there that you're like, whoa, the Plymouth White Marshes of the world,
right? The
Downingtowns, so it's not like you can get to 18, 19, and 20 and feel good about your chances. Like it's whether you're 8 to 24, you can almost
you're playing somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I guess if there is an advantage of not having the bye, you don't have a layoff. Sometimes that's a good thing.
And like you said here, you can almost go and PAC basketball. You could play 2 next week, make the final, and then play again on Friday, where you're out in that first round. It could be a little bit more of a lull between game 1.
Yeah.
End of your regular season post in the district playoffs too.
That happened to either Methacton or PV a couple years ago, and I remember just thinking, man, that's a pretty long layoff. And so granted, we'd love the bye.
I think it was Methacton. They lost to PV at home or something like that
It
in a
was
district game, something like that. I think I know exactly. And they were upset because like they're playing PV too in the first round, playing a league team.
so.
all right.
We'd take the bye, but
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Right.
All right, so big week for you guys here, and for 2 of the 3, you got to go on the road.
Yeah.
So Tuesday tonight at Upper Perk.
Right.
Struggling, but once again, you're riding a bus for 35 minutes. You know, like
We just gave up 80 points.
you just
Coach.
gave up 80 points,
Yeah.
right? And
So-
they've scored some points this year. Like they've been in basketball games. I'm saying they're not getting trounced every night. They're going out on the floor too.
They played Upper Marion the game before Upper Marion played us, and it was single digit.
Right.
So
There, that's all you need to say right there to the kids.
that's it.
All right, then Tuesday, rivalry game you're going to go to at PV.
Yep.
Probably going to be their last home game of the year, I'm going to guess, maybe.
Yeah.
So they're seeing all that stuff going on, that
Right.
hoopla with that, but place we got to go try to take care of business because they're going to slow it down. They're going to they're going to try and make this game in the 30s and 40s if they can against you guys.
And if you see their scores, you know, they're playing teams tough. And
They played Penridge tough for a half down there at their place too.
yeah, that's not, you know, a game where you're going to go in and not get their best effort. Like, it's going to be a dogfight. The kids know it. It's a rivalry.
And that's one where it's almost like they got nothing to lose,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be pack players. You have everything, you know,
Yeah.
for kids that can they handle the moment down at PV too.
Yeah, I'm sure both teams are expecting a good game. I'm sure there'll be a good crowd. Like I said, high school basketball is alive and well, Coach, and you know, everybody will probably want to get to that game because it's always, throw the records out the window. It's PV and Springford.
And then you're going to finish up, which we saw in the last thing, the team ahead of you in the district
Yeah.
rankings right now, Boyertown, could have some really huge implications for you guys for postseason basketball. And you're going to finish out Saturday afternoon
Right.
action here with the Boyertown Bears. It was supposed to be that Saturday and the 99 reunion. And
Yeah.
so this is going to be senior day here on Saturday for you guys, right?
Correct.
Are we still going to talk about the 99 team at halftime?
I don't think there's going to be
Enough people coming
yeah,
back.
that kind of dissolved, which is unfortunate. But you know, we certainly will go on with senior night and honor the seniors and their families. And like you said, implications from this game will be huge. Are you economics? What's your role here as?
Yeah, I teach some economics here at Springford. Yeah.
So
I try. I mean, we'll see. You know.
Yeah, like a macro and a micro look at things. Is that an economics term?
Well, you could also talk about short run versus long run in economics
Right.
too. You know, like this game is going to have some short run implications for you guys because it could definitely decide season and long run because if you get a win, you could talk some bonus points for those district rankings there too.
Yeah.
A lot of implications as you say.
I'm more of a macro micro guy.
Yeah, obviously that's what you seem like to me too. Right?
Yeah. So, but yes.
All right.
It's
And you guys lost up at there early in the year, and like you said, they're a team trending in the right direction. They're moving up these district rankings. I feel like last time we looked at them, they were like 17, 18. Now they're all the way up at 11.
yeah,
too.
they're a good team.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you and the crew as you finish out regular season playing the pack.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
All right, make sure you tune in next week as we recap the pack play for Springford and preview the Final Six. For the head coach, Chris Talley, I'm John Brennan. See you next time, Courtside.